Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a Smoke and Steel League event for you. It's going to be the Jackson's Division versus the 10th United States. First round is going to be Otto and Sherrick. They're going to flip for the second round, which is on the Nicodemus Hill. Before we get into this, thank you to our Patreon members for the support. If you'd like the support, go to the link in the description where you get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Here are the current standings for this event. Now, there was a discrepancy a couple weeks ago, as I'm told, and so the standings were changed. There's about 5 or 6 regiments that lost points, only 2 points, and you can see those regiments comparing the standings from the end of last video compared to this one. Our regiments, though, for tonight, you do have on the 10th United States side, you have the 12th Virginia, Free States Brigade, Missouri State Guard, Twin Banners, Corn Brigade, and the Shenandoah Regulars. Whereas on the Jackson's Division side, you have the 7th Texas, 2 Corps, Colquitt's Brigade, the 59th New York, and the Alabama Volunteer Corps. Server pop as of now is 325. In balance right now is 13 towards the Union side. Artillery-wise, CSA has 7. Union has 9. So that imbalance of 12 turns into an infantry imbalance of 10. Frontline reporters today. On the Union side, you have Archer from the 6th Louisiana, or the JD side. Opposite side, you have Seasoning from 12th Virginia on the 10th US side. Co-commentating with me today, we have Cordy. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Going on? My name's Cordy. I'm from 6th Louisiana, part of 2nd Corps.
And we are live here on the Otto and Sherrick. Union goes for it right away. Don't want to give CSA any moment to rest, especially with the new updated rifle accuracy. Union just going straight in.
That's right.
And I think CS is kind of caught off guard. You normally don't see Union do this.
Yeah, normally they just sit down in that road behind that defilade or just farther down the hill. They don't typically just go out from just an immediate charge, but they're able to take that top group of the CSA. You got FSBA coming down from the road itself, and they might be able to go for the Union's flags that are down there. Yeah, that's their plan.
AVC guys are turning around to try to get them. The question is, can they get this? If they get this, that'd be huge. Union flags getting torn off. Union should hold this, though. And
CSA is getting their numbers back up top. I think they're going to win that charge.
They're starting to counter charge. Wow, that's a start you wouldn't expect, because like Corden mentioned, they sit back in this road here that Union's kind of holding on to the defilade, or they pull back to this stone wall that the Union flags retreated to, or they usually go far left side into kind of this open area and kind of shoot it out with the CSA. Normally they don't charge off the rip, but overall, looking at the tickets, Union lost about a fourth, maybe a little more than a fourth of a stage. CSA lost half a stage on that charge. So even though Union didn't win the ground, they did exactly what they need to do in terms of tickets. I have not seen a charge like that since the Union strategy of charging and taking the house happened. But since they removed flags, being able to spawn people in houses, because if you're a flag and you're in a house, you will die within 30 seconds. And they added that, and then you couldn't spawn anymore, so then Union couldn't do that. Anyways, Cordy, do you got any more thoughts of strategy for each side here on Otto and Sherrick?
Well, now that the Palmetto sharpshooters, their Whitworths are now much more improved, a 90% reduction in their accuracy penalty, and the bayonets on the Whitworth now do not obscure the sights. And the sights themselves are much easier to see through. They're a lot closer to the infield. That's where it's kind of just a little peg, I guess. But it's a little more like a triangle, but it's kind of skinny. It's like a little isosceles triangle. You know what I'm talking about? So I would expect those groups, that's going to be 10th US MSG, and Corn Brigade, to be doing a lot of shooting for the CSA. And then I think 1st Georgia can have weapon flow? I don't remember.
1st Georgia can have buck and ball.
Well, I hope that's what they're using then.
Yeah, so
It would be the main defense for when Union gets close.
Oh. Yeah, so as Corden mentioned, with the recent update, Whitworth's got that 90% bullet spread decrease. Sharp's weapons got a 70%, and all other weapons got a 60% bullet spread, so it's much more skillful. Speaking of weapons, though, Union has the 28th Mass Regiment, And the 28th Mass has the Enfield. They also have the 17th Michigan Regiment with the Springfield 55 and the Springfield 61. Meanwhile, CSA has 1st Georgia with the Buckenball, Springfield 42, and the Enfield. And then you got the Palmetto Sharpshooters, which, as Corden mentioned, they have the Whitworth, Mississippi, or the Enfield. Anyways, Union's going in right away. I wonder if Union's like, we can't win a shootout even if we got the stone wall because of that 90% bullet spread decrease for the Whitworth, so we're just going to charge in right away. When I was watching this in pubs, the shootout did not work for Union. Union charging in did work, surprisingly, which you wouldn't expect when the shooting improves a lot. You would think Union charging would fail a lot more, but in 2 instances so far, it seems to have worked.
I think one thing that would help the CSA is if they came out a little earlier and started to get shots off as the Union's like just crossing the road. Then they might be able to get 2 shots in before the Union reaches their lines. You can see Union artillery is really hitting the CSA on this white fence, knocked down a few people.
Yeah,
And they might soon break the fences too. Lots of artillery coming out for Union.
I mean, yeah, as long as they shoot through those 2 little like sheds or whatever, they're gonna hit. But Union,
yeah. I don't know how they haven't broken the fence though.
Union has formed a strong line on that CSA spot and much helped the Union artillery, so huge props to them on the good shots. FSB, who was the flanking force last time, is just kind of sitting in the center of the road. You have 1 Union flag down right now. That's about to be picked up by D's, but I don't remember the last time I've seen Union like charge and it actually work on Otto and Sheriff.
Yeah, usually it takes a little bit of takes a few tries to get up there. The CSA's
oh my goodness,
usually hold that spot pretty well. I think the artillery may have played a good role in that, keeping the CSA knocked down while the Union charges in.
Which, here comes some more CSA respawns. They're trying to turn around the side and behind. 30th Ohio guys in particular doing this. Union flags have been brought up here. As long as Union can keep their flags up and be able to retreat with them, they should be in a perfectly fine spot. All of these shots from both sides at this point blank range should be hits. More CSA filling in. 2 Union flags are down. I don't know why they're not trying to get them out.
Union artillery's about to commence soon.
Hey, come here.
You got 2 Corps and Colquitts running down for Union. They're shooting the CSA that are, in a sense, maybe overextending.
There might be some of the CSA are actually staying on that fence.
I mean, yeah, they're kind of in a wide open spot, no shade to kind of cover them. You can see they're starting to back off. Union does hit engaged, but Union forced CSA in about a 1/4 of the stage into engaged, but Union already is just pounding this spot over and over again. A strong CSA spot, which Union artillery is JD for the most part. 1 MB guy, but mostly JD. And with JD being in charge of Union, you know, that's huge props there to JD artillerymen. That is really well done by them.
That was good coordination for the artillery.
I didn't mention it, but the ticket and bounce of this map, it is a 52% ticket advantage to the Union side. So they have bodies to burn if they want. But, of course, it's a question of if they will. And I assume Union's going to get all set up again and then go. I don't see any reason why the Union would stop.
No, it's worked out for them so far.
And there's literally no reason to change. So... wow. I don't know if I've ever seen a better infantry arty communication. I don't know if they are communicating, but really well done. You don't ever see that.
Yeah. I would hope that these sharpshooter regiments are going to be able to set up in a place that they can just keep hammering the Union as they're trying to get around. That's supposed to be 10th U.S. Corn Brigades. All there.
Red colors, top of the hill.
Union's
10th
starting to...
U.S. In the middle.
Yeah, Union's going up center to pick their flags. I don't know if they're trying to get them up and get out. Looks like they're holding, though. Some CSA are charging or moving out to them. Union runs the flags out. Nice little evac there from mostly cold quits, but a couple of 50A guys as well. I wonder who has the scopes for the Whitworth.
Remember, guys, shoot and reload. The only way we're gonna kill him is by shooting at him. Don't stare at him.
I mean...
moving right.
Oh my goodness. Does he have the scope? Yeah, so Spartan from MSG, he's got the scope. He's back at CSA spawn. So those scope weapons do not have bayonets on them. So, as the downside, but obviously you can have a pure Gettysburg moment with that. So, zooming out here, both sides are starting to really spread out. More the CSA. And CSA's down half a morale stage, and I'm a little surprised Union is sitting and wanting to shoot this out when they've done a great job of charging so far.
What did they see? Union can see where some of the CSA is. I think they have targets from any unit that's around. So, I mean, Union can win a shooting battle if they kind of want to.
Yeah, and I mean, out of the few instances I've seen so far with the sit and shoot, like on Roulette Lane on Saturday night, the NA event I was watching, CSA was down 2/3 of a stage, and then they shot their way back up to even tickets overall. Now, they didn't win the game, but it shows you that the sit and shoot is back, and it's better than ever. And so maybe Union just wants to say, hey, we got that ticket lead. We are going to sit back and just kind of shoot this out. We have a lot of time, so we're going to sit and shoot this out. But maybe they might go in. Union's pushing up on Union right. And they are going to charge again, which, honestly, at this point, I don't think Union can do much wrong.
Swarm them.
Boys, get on these rocks, take the shot, then go around.
Alright, how you doing?
And the gay rebels have
Why are the CSA just pushing out?
Yeah, they're trying to flank around their side to get their flags. You've seen this work well for CSA, where Union will charge up one side. The rest of the CSA will collapse in on the rear to get the flags, but that's not working. Union's charging CSA right and left side at the same time. And this is...
got to worry about these little individual units getting too spread out trying to countercharge, giving people to die out of line and skirmishing.
It honestly just feels like CSA's outnumbered, and they're just getting rolled over by superior Union manpower.
Come here. They're what?
And they might be. I don't know.
I mean, what is... I mean, it's an 8-man infantry or balance. It's a 10-man infantry in balance. We're at a max server 350 as well. That's also pretty cool. But...
It is pretty cool. I hope I don't crash.
Why would you say that? Hey,
As long as you don't crash, it'll be okay.
Yeah. When I was watching 500-player servers, I was running fine. So.
Well, sometimes crashes aren't related to performance. So.
Fair enough. Hey, I will say I've been messing a lot with my PC as of late, and I flicked one setting, and I think it was enabled, and I disabled it, and since then.
Copy. Independent fire.
No issues. And it's been like 2 weeks. So.
get ready to move.
What setup was that?
So, if I remember right, so I have a bunch of USB ports on the back of my PC, and the setting I think was turned on, and when it was turned on, the PC would act like all the USB ports were being used at the same time, even if they weren't. So they were like on and running. I turned it off so that if something wasn't plugged in, it wasn't running, I think. And that, I mean, there's been no issue since that, so.
There's one CSA guy way out to the north. He's checking some boundaries. I don't know what he's doing.
What's interesting, too, is 12th VA, I think they got buck and ball. And they're shooting it at these further than 33-yard distances, which, for those of you who don't know the update notes yet, past 33 yards, a bullet or a pellet from the buck and ball shot, it shoots like a shotgun, it has a main shot and a bunch of pellets. The pellets do not kill past 33 yards. They only wound. So, I still think buck and ball is very good.
They don't do full damage.
Right.
They can still kill if you're already wounded. And
Yes.
it does happen. I had it happen to me for the first time.
Right.
At partial damage.
But
at
it doesn't,
range.
yeah, it doesn't deal enough damage to kill you if you were full health, per se. But I still think buck and ball is very, very good. Now,
Well,
obviously,
it depends on how much it drops off. If it's just like after 33 hours, it only drops like half or something, and then it doesn't drop off again anywhere else. That would be interesting to know.
I would still much rather have the buck and ball, even if it drops off. You just gotta practice with it then. But
Or you could switch to round ball.
no. Why would you want to take round ball when you could have a bunch of pellets with it? That
Hey, I don't know. The spread is pretty big for buck and ball.
sure, but even
Well,
if,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that got changed.
E-
Maybe it's a tighter spread.
even if the spread is huge and the pellets don't hit, if they get somewhat close, they're dealing the same amount of suppression as a normal shot. So, and even
Yeah, suppression.
and,
But
and sure you
if
won't.
you're hitting people that are in formation, they're not going to be suppressed that much, and you know the rifles you're fighting against are going to be a lot more accurate. So, you know, it's not quite the same anymore.
Yes, I still would much rather have it. Because, I mean, even if you wound someone, when you get into a melee, that person's going to be one stab over two stab. You got the higher suppression. Sure, you might have to aim a fair amount higher, but that's called a skill issue at this point, because the accuracy of everything is there. Well, we'll see what happens. You got a good group of guys. When I say good group of guys, I mean Ivy being alone, Mississippi, arguing for the buck and ball accuracy to go back up, or the lethality. Not the accuracy, the lethality.
Well, this is what you guys get for saying it was OP.
Well, they finally listened about the charge meta.
Yeah.
For the past year, it was charge, charge, charge. You couldn't win games unless you charged. If you wanted to sit and shoot, you had the early cap.
So it was for the past since the game came out.
Yeah, that's what I was talking to someone, and that's what they said as well. But it's been more noticeable, at least over the past year, with especially with like the flag changes. I think, but
Yeah.
anyways, Union is still kind of back to this sit and shoot. I mean, they've got 26 minutes. They've got to knock CSA down 2/3 of a stage. I don't know. JD's playing this really, really well so far. And we haven't really seen CSA artillery today.
Yeah. I think for the most part they've been getting hit by skirmishers. But now they're open.
That's true.
I think, and Union is also pretty spread out, so it's hard for them to do a lot of damage.
Right. I mean, when Union charges, it's not like CSA artillery can really have a vantage point of that charge. I mean, what if you look from the CSA already? They got trees in the houses blocking everything. So
Yeah, and they're in the shade, so
that too.
or that too.
But Union's about to take in losses. But Corda, what's your opinion? What's your opinion on the recent update?
It's something that I've kind of wanted for a long time, is for shooting to be a bit more skillful. Because you know before, if you're hitting someone over like 100 yards, there's like a decent chance that you're just gonna miss. because of the random bullet spread.
Right.
But now it's like the training that you do or the drill or practice, it's really going to make a difference. And now you really have to pay attention to where you're aiming and the stability of your rifle, and kind of getting that sweet spot of like 5 or so seconds after aiming to really level the gun out. And it's also going to be more important for officers, because
My goodness, we did that.
now if you can time that fire command like right at that sweet spot, it's gonna have a much more impactful effect. I like it.
I like this update. Oh. But Union goes to taking loss. It's a half morale stage lead. This is what a dominant Otto and Sherrick.
We need to be watching some of these volleys with the Whitworths.
Who's got those again? Let's see.
The 10th U.S. MSG and Corps Brigade.
Oh, I just heard turtle.
Oh yeah, here they're going back.
12-3A's heading back.
Okay, thing about turtling on this map is that you kind of can't do it. Not behind the barn, at least.
They're going.
Have people go back into the woods, and that is the place to go if you wanted to do it.
And it's good
Or
timing.
you could go in the corn too. That works as well.
Union's starting to push up a lot. Some CSA are staying forward, though. You got 30th Ohio, although I reckon they're just doing their volley and then they're going to run back to the turtle. You got a couple of CSA skirmishers or Rambos out here. I mean, MSG guys are out here skirmishing. Got some skirmishers by the CSA main artillery, 10th US. And then you have FSB holding on the caissons. So, I mean, a turtle makes sense for CSA here. I think it's a good idea at this point, because right now you're just losing on every front. You're not gonna do well. I actually watched a Anderson's this previous weekend where Union turtled as a defender where they had a sliver left, and CSA tried to shoot for 12 minutes and they couldn't hit him the breaking. They early capped. Union charged out, pushed the CSA, who was considered the defender at that point since they capped and were defending the point. They pushed them into last stand, retook the point and won.
Dang.
It was, I thought it was very beautiful. Which, now they might ban that from the event. So,
I doubt it.
it's an EU event.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, I could see them doing that then.
So, CSA, outside of those few skirmishers and the artillery guys, which, I mean, those will deal some tickets, but not a whole lot. You got some heading back to that forest. Got some behind the barn. So, are you saying Union can reach behind the barn, or that they can, like, shoot behind the barn?
They can like sprint up behind the barn and just like get out of bounds. I mean, they could also just get up to the barn, shoot in the woods, come back. Because I mean, Unions, they have to be able to get to that white fence to charge the CSA, so they can get pretty close to the barn.
Yeah. I mean, what, 10th US is and FSB are the only ones holding forward, which 10th US makes sense there. SR is there as well.
No, for the love of Jesus.
So, here's the glorious turtle making its epic comeback. But, I mean, Union's got 20 minutes. Got a long time. So, we'll see what Union wants to do. They're starting to push up. 2 corps pushing up first.
Let's go.
No bias here. I mean, there's a couple CSA skirmishers from 30th shooting at the at least 6 LA guys, but
Because it's playing the Zap cocksucker.
Got a lot more Union shifting up as well. But if I'm Union, I mean, I don't early cap until there's like 13 minutes on the clock. Obviously, it depends on how many tickets the Union forces here, but Union's getting up and close with that barn. Now, some CSA 10th US is actually moving down to engage the 6LA who have pushed up. 30th Ohio is moving up to assist as well. Now, they are not turtling much anymore. Well, kind of. Not really.
Here they were trying to fake a turtle.
This is, well...
Just get some Union up close, pop out, and get some kills.
Which, here come more CSA out of the wood line. Union is on point right now. They shouldn't do this. JD guys are running through the edge of the point, and they're out of it. And they're going to rush up the hill.
On the line.
I don't know why CSA would bait the Union to come closer. CSA's been losing this all day unless they think they can win the short shootout because they have Buck and Ball and the Whitworth with better accuracy on the Whitworth, and then obviously you're shooting a shotgun with the Buck and Ball, but Union has a lot of tickets to burn. Like, CSA just lost a fourth of a stage since this thing started.
I do see a lot of JD over to the west on the CSA artillery. They've gone all the way on the Union left side. Wipe CSA artillery. So they got a good bit of tickets there.
FSB is
looks
also
like just going right back to the middle.
FSB is holding really far forward.
I figured they push on the CSA's right.
They need to start early capping. Or pre-capping.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of CSA falling back. FSB still holding far forward on the far left. In the center of the map, you have some 30th Ohio guys. I mean, sure, these are a few guys here and there, but it'll all add up. And at this point, CSA might just need to push out. And it looks like they're starting to do that. 10th US is charging in first. 30th Ohio is kind of going forward in the center. CSA is going to hit braking. Union needs to start early capping, or pre-capping. Because
with this CSA charge, they are going to go down to braking, as you can see right there.
And Union is not moving.
JD is about to be on the point, so they're working on it.
Oh, here they go. A slow reaction time. The question is it going to give CSA enough time? Nice job to the Union guy who picked up that Irish-looking flag. But
I think CSA is going to be able to slow it down.
Can they stop it, though? I don't know if it'll matter.
I don't know.
But
It's be rough.
Union's got their whole team on the point. I think this is it.
Yeah, I think it might be. Let's see.
CSA flag.
CS
What are your thoughts for the round?
Hold on, we ain't done yet.
No, it's done.
Oh, yeah. It's done.
What are your thoughts?
I would say in the early stages, when Union's coming out from their wood line, I think CSA probably should have taken some earlier shots, especially with the Whitworth. I think the Whitworths need to be put to work as if they're the sharpest regiment, because just having that near 100% accuracy is just crazy. I'd say maybe the Buck and Ball guys kind of stay a little more hidden, and then when Union comes up, just have all your Buck and Ball guys ready to go. Otherwise, like maybe a half or a quarter of the people are going to be loaded by the time Union gets there. Union artillery did pretty good too.
Yeah.
Kept knocking the CSA down as Union was charging up. That was a good use of artillery.
Yeah, really good use from JD on the arty. Really surprising round how effective Union charges were. Something we haven't really seen work a lot the past year. So anyways, we'll see you all for round number 2. All right, here are the stats for the first round. Again, really decisive win from the Jackson's division on Otto and Cherrick. But alas, here we are with round number 2, now on the Nicodemus Hill. Some would say a fair and balanced map. So the sides have flopped. JD is now CSA, 10th US leading the Union attack. Inbalance and tickets, it's 55% ticket advantage to the Union side. Speaking of inbalance as well, numbers-wise, we're at 350. Inbalance is 4 to the Union side. There's like a 15-20 man imbalance, but they fix the numbers. I don't think anyone balanced. They just adjusted themselves out. Regardless, 4-man inbounds. Artillery-wise, Union has 14. CSA has 10. So right now, infantry numbers are fairly even. Chaos has ensued. Union's already charging in. They never charge here.
That's true. That's not something you really see anymore.
What is happening? You would
Union
think...
doesn't really want to take those chances anymore. That's why they usually go toward the north side, but now they're all full committing gun to the south.
We'll see if this works. We'll explain why in a second. Why Union never does this. But artillery's going in. And Union actually made a little bit of a dent. They're up on tickets. What is going on?
Must be that ticket imbalance. We don't know. Maybe they changed it. They could have changed the ticket imbalance.
They could have.
Or Union's just getting a lot of
But
kills.
no, they mentioned drill camp matches changing in ticket imbalance. Like they said, we increased defender tickets by 10% on these 3 maps. They didn't mention any other maps.
Well, they can make changes without saying it.
That's
I'm pretty sure
true.
they've done that before.
But I have a feeling if they would have said stuff for the drill camp maps, they would have said, hey, we made changes to this.
Well, it could have been a different update.
What, the December update?
Oh, it could have been the one we just had.
I know. I'm saying they didn't put it in that. Where
That was
they
a different update.
I'm confused.
So the latest one with the scopes and the
Right.
ballistics, that could have been the one where they changed
Right.
the tickets for the certain maps.
Right.
They didn't do that for the joke maps.
No. I'm saying, though, that in the Scopes update patch notes, they put that they changed the ticket balance of some of the drill camp maps. They didn't mention any of the other maps. That's, yeah. Anyways. They could have, though, because, I mean, they've messed with boundaries before, regardless. Union's taking the corner. The reason why this never happens is because CSA's got a stone wall, and if we look at the weapons of this map, so Union has the 15th Mass with the Lorenz. They also have 1st Minnesota with the Springfield 55 and the Springfield 61. Meanwhile, CSA, they have the 13th Virginia with the Springfield 42. So they have Buck and Ball, the Enfield, and the Springfield 55. So first off, CSA's got Buck and Ball. They also have the 1st Virginia Cavalry, which have Sharps, carbines, and all of their guys have pistols, as you can see. So why would you charge into a stone wall where the CSA have shotguns and pistols, which here comes the CSA counterattack.
Well, they could be having faith in their artillery for knocking the CSA down, and they did do that for a little bit.
They did?
And yes, they did. And also, they could just catch CSA off guard. Yeah, that happens. That did happen. But now CSA was able to get a good counterattack going. And they did it in a good way, going through the woods to the south instead of trying to go through the field or from the point side. And they're able to just get right around the stone wall. They don't have to try and go through it.
Yeah, but...
And they were able to beat Union back off. And Union looks like they dropped 2 flags down in the forest.
They did. However, similar to last round, Union, the attacking team, is up on tickets, so... What the heck is going on tonight? You know, at least over the past couple of days, I would have thought the shooting update would have caused a lot more sitting and shooting, but if anything, I've seen a lot more charging. I don't
Which
get
is
it.
what they want you to expect.
No one expects the
About mind games.
no one expects the Spanish Inquisition or whatever it is.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, that was a weird bounce.
Okay, dude, I was waiting for
So,
you to clear off
one thing that I just saw,
because I'm a sore loser.
when I saw a round bounce off the stone wall,
Yeah.
90 degrees into the forest, and it slowed down
What do you
after
mean?
it bounced.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't get how the shots can ricochet off the walls. That doesn't make any sense to me. You know,
I mean,
if anything, I would expect
that's
it to go through or get stuck.
yeah, you'd think, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It might be hitting like the bottom part of the wall where it's not breakable. I don't know.
Alright, well, it looks like Union's prepping to go up on that side again. They got one of those down flags, and Union should be able to pick up that last one on their way, but this is an interesting start, to say the least. If this charge works and Union gets a ticket lead, You know, the whole idea of meta for the past 2 maps has just been completely thrown out of the window. If these work.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is on a 350-man server, too, where I would normally expect the defenders to do a lot better. But here they go.
No fucking way.
So, CSA defense, they've got a lot of guys in the forest now where they countercharged through earlier, which I don't think they had that initially. So, we'll see if that works. CSA hits engaged. Union is starting to get to that road line. They pick up that 4th flag. And CSA actually sent the pistols up that flanking
Oh,
side.
look at that.
That was a good arty shot.
It knocked down a lot of cavalry right there.
And Union's able to hit the CSA line.
So you gotta be careful when you're using the cavalry with pistols. Because
Mr. Pistol Man,
you don't want them to be right directly in the front, even receiving a charge. Because the smoke that they're gonna be shooting out is gonna obscure their own vision. And Union's gonna be able to get up close and you're not gonna be able to get all 6 rounds off.
Who cares about a couple team kills, you know, through the smoke.
Well, not that, but
I'm kidding.
okay.
I'm just like,
I would prefer them kind of be in the corner, but like behind another line, so they potentially could shoot above that friendly line and can also just mop up any Union that gets through it.
so that charge works a lot better for CSA. They actually hold the line. Union does hit engage. Ticket gap, it's definitely closer. So that's more what I would expect on this charge.
Texas, back to the original position.
Back to the original position.
Seeing a lot of these soldiers without their hats on is always surprising for me. It looks so weird.
Oh, Stanley, you must
That
be
greasy
getting
hair.
You ain't got no hat for it.
That beautiful War of Rights hair.
The super shiny hair.
You people left, brother.
Back of my tent.
Texas moved. They moved north.
Oh, we're shooting east.
But anyways, is Union gonna go for that again? I mean, they're still up on tickets, and they didn't lose a considerable amount to where it's back even or they're losing. So they might just do it again. Because if it gets to a point where these charges start not working, or they just stop working, Union might just want to sit and do a shootout. But because they've done all this charging at the beginning, everyone's going to be down a lot of tickets earlier on in the match, which will allow Union to kind of sit back and shoot it out with the CSA, which I don't know how all that'll work for the Union. We'll see.
This is random, but it's interesting to me that the soldier models, they have like a hole inside of their mouth rendered.
Right.
They never open their mouths.
Yeah. Maybe that's a future update. Which that would be weird to think about. The mouths moving of the characters when a player talks in game.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know what to think about that.
There are, I know like Star Citizen, they have face over IP. So like, it'll actually like mimic what your face is doing. It's like if you're talking a certain way, it'll
There's like
show that too.
camera on your face then?
Yeah, it uses the webcam.
What? Interesting. But here comes Union. 3rd time's the charm, right? Not the 1st. Not the 2nd, but the 3rd. What a shot from Union Arty.
They can do some work.
Keep pushing forward, boys. Get into them. Get into them. Go, go, go. Shoot that gap.
That's a
in the
crazy
face.
angle too. You don't see shots in that corner. This server is struggling for me. I'm lagging.
Right. Cavalry is moving along the south side, flanking the Union. They're actually out of bounds there.
You got 30 seconds though. But yeah, no, I mean, would you say that's a better spot than before?
It's okay. but I see a lot of wasted shots, just blindly firing through the smoke.
Imagine if there was an option for your character to like blow air to move smoke. Not that that would do anything. That was just a
Imagine
random
if you
thought.
could put a scope on the pistol. just a Whitworth scope on the revolver.
Where the scope is longer than the actual weapon you're holding.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's another hold. Tickets are getting a lot closer, but I think Union can afford one more of these charges before they start going in the red. But they can go in the red a little bit if they want. And most importantly, though, they brought everyone decently close to taking losses in a matter of 15 minutes, and that's pretty impressive.
Good shit, Colcoids.
Bye-bye. Get your reloads if you haven't already, Seventh.
Oh, we don't have guns. That means I can use 3 empty.
Seventh, move it out.
High CQB. High CQB.
So, TSA returning to those original positions. Union's grouping up behind the barn. It looks like they're going to do it again.
I mean, it's kind of working.
I mean, yeah, they're not... I'm shocked they're not going in the red in terms of tickets like crazy. Like, they've kept tickets even. Which I guess when you have 55%, or I guess maybe more, who knows. I mean, I can...
Stay with your score! Stay with your score!
Yes, whoever said that, I am recording you.
Ah. What'd they say?
They said, hi, BLN. I don't know if you're recording me. Oh my goodness. CSA already with a nice shot. That one not as good, but it knocked down a couple people. That one was really short. That was a great one. That was another good one. That snake fence is gone.
That snake fence broken up.
Union
Union's
already...
able to get closer together.
Union volley just... Sorry, Union artillery just volleyed right as the infantry was about to hit the road. That was... Well done.
Here we go, boys. Here we go, boys.
Someone has been watching these videos.
Someone, you know...
Someone finally decided that we have wisdom to impart.
That smoke wall is insane. Both sides gonna hit taking losses. CSA hold that strong again. You got Union still, guys. A couple of them tricking forward. They didn't push their flags up. It looks like they kept them a little further back in the woods. But if they trickle guys forward, that's not going to be good for Union. And now Union's down on tickets. CSA pushing out a little bit.
I think it's still even. So I mean,
yeah,
it didn't not work.
Yeah, but ever since that first charge, CSA has slowly been catching back up. I mean, Union can be down tickets and still win the game. They just need to hit CSA into breaking and cap. But it's kind of at that point. I feel like this is one of those maps, though, where Union can't be down by a significant amount if they want to contest point at the end. Just because eventually if Union does get final push last in, they got to go through a wide open field. And we saw how devastating CSA already was when Union was trying to go into the woods. Through the open, it's just a mess. So, I mean, if I were Union, I would almost want to just sit and shoot this out. Or try to go down to the other side of the map and then maybe get in the shootout with the CSA. I don't know if doing this anymore is going to be beneficial.
They have the option to flip the map
Oh my, we're
to
so
a
bad.
north to south.
Another week!
Hey, that's the normal strategy, is to flip it. I'm just saying.
Southeast. Southeast.
So,
I think one thing that's interesting about the Union already trying to hit that corner is that I don't really know if they can even see it
there's no
through
shot
all
they
the
can.
through all the trees. I mean, because there you can see that's Union Series all the way to the northeast. So they really can't adjust anything unless there's some Union soldier that is able to see it as they're like charging up.
Get your guns primed. They're
So I would imagine 10th US has practiced with this artillery. I think I even saw people in their server doing it.
Wouldn't surprise me.
primed.
What you gotta do?
I mean, what? I think 10th US was last place in their group.
Ah, there's one on the ground. Can't grab it.
Let me look.
Um,
Yeah, 10th US is last in their group. JD's in second, but both of these teams are separated by a point. So, I mean, 10th US, I mean, both these teams really need a win badly. 59th, who's in first place with 25 points. JD's second with 15. 10th US is in third with 14. 59th, New York, if they want to secure their first spot, 59th would probably hope for a 1-1 result today, I would assume. Because that means both sides, you know, get points, but they don't catch up to 59th as much as a 2-0. Unless 59th is on the 2-0 team, which I don't remember what team they're on. Anyways, Union's getting in the woods, and they're engaging with a shootout, which is a little fascinating.
we take a look at how much of the CSA stone wall is broken. So Union could send a lot of people toward that kind of center area or along that snake fence, and they could just run right over the wall. There's a lot of entry points for them.
And CSA's
And that would force CSA to adjust over this way where the RD can shoot them.
Yeah, I don't
A
know.
lot more open position, and you can't really hide along the wall for that much. Well, they can't hide enough people behind the wall.
Yeah, Union's starting to shift guys down that snake fence to get in a shootout, which is why we see the CSA shifting that way. But the 10th US already is hitting a lot of good shots here, more than you would normally see from Union on this map.
Low, very low. Keep gunning them down.
But the question is will the shootout work? CSA already's also got a crazy view. I just saw a shot. What the heck? CSA already hit a rock on the ground and ricocheted up to the top of the tree and then exploded.
There we go. See, Union's charging in on that left side.
Maybe they're trying to spread them out more center and then collapse quickly on the other side. We'll see if it works.
Yeah, it could work. I could see FSB kind of charging right in as the CSA tries to adjust themselves. I haven't gone in yet. I kind of expected a roadblock.
Your stab and goes yelled from front loader. That's what you have to do in a charge. Tickets are still fairly even. The Cav has showed up in the center.
You Yankee bastard.
JD.
You really want to come to this line, bud? You're gonna die.
Tickets are actually surprisingly still even. Union has a couple guys trickling in, but you know, that was actually pretty good for Union.
I won't. You're not allowed.
It's, I mean, in
Yeah,
terms,
they're still doing well on time.
yeah. So, wow. Why is this working all of a sudden? I mean, maybe Union shots are actually able to hit the CSA since they're more accurate in those defensive spots. But you'd think CSA would be able to shoot them up a lot more. I don't know.
Yeah. Or, I don't know. Could be CSA. Might be a bit overconfident, maybe. Trying to countercharge a lot more. Maybe it's that CSA is also kind of trying to stay back a little bit and rely on shooting. And that allows Union to maybe get up a little closer and get some melee kills.
Or is it the artillery for Union? That's
Could be-
honestly
could be
probably the
artillery
biggest.
too.
Honestly, Union already makes the most sense.
Yeah, even if Union already is not really hitting all the time, the few times they do is going to make CSA not want to stand in those areas as much.
And they've kind of backed off that corner where the stone wall and snake fence meet. Because Union already's pounding that. And a lot of them are actually holding in the wood line right now to hide from Union already. Normally CSA isn't that far back because normally Artie doesn't hammer them. But the question's going to be, is Union just going to keep going like this until its final push last stand? Or are they going to at some point decide to sit and shoot? As Quarters mentioned, they've got plenty of time.
Yeah, I mean, I think their strategy is going to be to just keep doing this until CSA gets to breaking or close to breaking, and then they're just going to start sending people to the point and force CSA to come to them. That's what I would do.
So question is, what is the Union going to do?
Well, I think they're going to charge.
They're vibing at main spawn right now.
I don't know.
They're playing the 1 Pound Fish song. I think it's from, I saw an American's Got Talent video or X Factor. I don't remember what it was. It's a little funny video.
That sounds fun.
Union's doing volleys. Or some of the team is.
Oh, shoot that fence.
Sorry, we're gay.
Hello. Again to the west, northwest.
Yeah, those volleys, not doing it.
For Union,
Yeah, they're not getting many kills.
it's not surprising. I mean, CSA is about as far back as you could be, and the few guys that are forward, I mean, most of them have a stone wall in front of them.
Yeah.
They're on the snake rail.
Well, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
fuck
and even a lot of the guys that are fighting from the Union, like they can see the smoke of the CSA, but they're gonna have a really hard time even picking out just the outline of a person from that distance.
Officers should just be able to shoot with their binoculars while they're zoomed in.
You know, I kind of thought that the scopes were gonna have that like focusing thing with like the officer binoculars, where you have to like actually keep adjusting it. I don't know, I thought that would have been cool.
Like,
But
adjust the
that'd get
scope.
annoying pretty fast. Like adjusting the focus of it.
No.
Like having to do that.
Have you been able to use them yet?
Yeah, they're just magnified. That's about it. It's clear, pretty much all the way. You don't have to focus it.
Interesting. I've heard the opposite from other people. It's different people are saying different things.
I mean,
I
it's
haven't
not
used it.
like it's not crystal clear,
Right.
but it's not. You don't have to adjust the focus of it, and it's not like the binoculars where you put it all the way like on your eye, kind of.
Right.
It's like you're kind of looking through it as if it's like a window. So it's
Interesting.
still not easy to see on your screen.
If only we had the 100% accuracy like the day one.
I'm just silent for now.
Too,
Straight to the fence.
Guys, tell their
but we don't need that.
Please, I want to watch Union win Cooks easily.
Got a more interesting Union charge coming through.
Yeah, they're
A lot
splitting
of
up.
people going for the center. So CC's gonna have to split up. You see, there is a side of Texas. They're out on the northern side. They have to come back in.
Union's actually pushing through that side pretty well. CSA's going to hit breaking. Union has the ticket lead. That shootout At least throughout that, or maybe the end of the previous charge, Union was starting to get a little lead. But
I think they're going to get CSA to breaking, though.
yep. Is there any more? There's a couple more in the woods for Union, but a couple of CSA guys are counter-charging out towards the Union, which I don't like that.
It's like a bunch of cowboys down there.
Alright, now I can see Union's all consolidating.
Look at all the pistols.
How is this working?
I mean, for some reason, Union's able to get close, and that could be due to a number of reasons. But of course, when attackers get close, that's not usually a good thing for the defenders, and they are, they're at a tick disadvantage, percentage-wise. May not be much, but it could be noticeable.
I mean, all that little stuff, it's gonna matter. I saw 15:30 in this text chat, so we've got about 45 seconds until the next Union charge.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
I do wonder if there's a chance that some people are missing more after this update because they may have been relying on the bit of inaccuracy to kind of get a random chance to hit a person. That's not a very logical thing for me to say, and it's actually pretty stupid, but hey, it might be a thing for some people.
well, I didn't the bullet spread was pretty huge, so I mean, the way you could have been aiming this whole time could have been wrong. I mean, it's not like, at least from what I know, it's not like we knew how the aiming worked specifically. We knew there was some randomness and stuff with it, but we didn't know it was like that big. So, I mean, that could make sense.
Yeah, it also could be people that weren't really aiming that well to begin with, and then now their inaccuracy really is going to be inaccurate.
The amount of point-blank shots I've seen missed is a little too high for my liking over this past week. Like, shots will go over a lot, because that's because the bullets rise at short ranges, but people don't. It's actually interesting. A lot of Union guys are shooting before charging. Oh, are they going to stop? There's some confusion here. They're just going to get a shootout. Both sides are breaking.
Not a bad idea. Union's going to be able to take it up the hill if they decide to push forward.
They're trying to cap.
Yeah.
What a play.
They're at least pulling almost all the CSA down from the top of that hill. And half the Union team is in the forest. And with them staying in the forest, CSA doesn't see them as much of a threat at this point, in my opinion. So they're going to send more people down to the road just to make sure that they don't lose the cap. And now Union is going to have the numbers to take the top of the hill.
And just as you said, they're pushing up. There's a couple CSA there. CSA is going to hold point, but the question is, can Union take the top? I'm shocked Union brought a flag down to point, but maybe it was just to try to pull more CSA down there. What a move here from 10th US. Union is now in a ticket lead. CSA starting to return from point. Even if they don't hold this, the ticket gap is growing immensely in Union's favor.
Yeah, right now Union's going to have a crazy position to hold. If they can hold the top of this hill, CSA is not going to be able to come back up. And they're going to be able to shoot down onto the CSA that's on the point. I don't know if CSA is going to be able to go through the forest again to be able to retake that position. Because Union might be ready this time. And any CSA that doesn't go toward the point, that could just be more that Union can kind of avoid those people going through the forest to try to retake that position. Go straight down the road and just take the point.
Right, exactly. So a lot of the CSA at point, they do eventually win. Union, surprisingly, is like getting that flag that they brought out. I mean, it's closer to Union spawn, like about a third of the way, but regardless, props to that group, distracting a lot of the CSA. Really well drawn up play from the 10th US. And now they have a huge ticket lead with a lot of time. They could sit and shoot this out, and I reckon that's what they're going to do. I mean, what do you even do as CSA at this point? If you pull off to the orchard area to the north side of the map, Union will just rush down the point and you'll have to charge them. If you try to charge through the woods like you mentioned, Cordy, Union could just sift down to the point. I mean, what do you do if you're CSA at this point?
I mean, more or less react to what the Union does. You can see Second Corps there on the western side of the Union lines. So they are able to kind of shoot into their side.
Union gets that 4th flag that was dropped back. A lot of those guys in that company are moving out into the open field, trying to get shots on CSA. CSA on a point, except for a few guys back off to the house in the shed there. Holy cow. What a round from Union.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just saying, man, you ain't stopping.
They're doing the old strategy. It's working today.
I never thought I'd see the day. Wow.
Ramadan, what? We got a lot of holidays this month.
Aye, that we do, sir.
You know, the Thursday.
Almost the entire Union team is on the top of the hill. And looks like Union might be kind of pushing up a little bit, getting a bit aggressive on these guys.
Yeah, CSA is trying to put pressure from the CSA spawn side, but they can't charge in. They'll hit last stand unless they can throw Union out, but even then they gotta somehow close the ticket gap. This just seems like it's too much for CSA to overcome. That volley right there from 8th Ohio just completely overshot JD. He's at a little bit of an angle though on the bullets rise, so. CSA's dwindling down. What? You know, I think this will probably be the first time I'll give MVP to Artie and anything I've ever watched. I mean, Artie was able to hit the spots at the perfect time that allowed the infantry to really contest positions. And that is, at least to me, the notable reason why Union, on both rounds, the attackers for both rounds were able to get the strategic positions that they were. I mean, also great play from 10th US at the end of this round, but the only reason why they were in a position to do something like that and the tickets be even overall was just because that RT gave them a shot. This is insane. CSA's about to hit last stand.
Yeah, I think a lot of the damage is coming from this western group of CSA. I mean, they're the closest group. It's hard not to kind of put the blame on them for losing a lot of tickets. Even if it is, you know, if it might be what they're ordered to do. JD is also in the forest, and they're the leading regiment, so I would imagine.
8th Ohio is trying to get shots in them. They keep overshooting the JD, those JD guys you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Granted, JD's kind of in a defilade as well, so, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, CSA, they are going to go to last stand very quickly. Union, they're going to be ways away from final push. We might be able to see Artie kind of carry CSA through this. I don't know.
I don't think CSA can win this.
There's still 8 minutes left. They're in last stand. It could happen.
There's always a chance.
What?
Oh my goodness.
There is a lot of CSA artillery.
Oh, what a good, great shots.
There is some help that they could give for some shots that would be a little closer.
Well,
especially if they're going to be on the point. Hopefully CSA already has that spot ranged.
Points being capped from Union right now. Some Union are trickling down from the top. It's some MSG guys and Yeater from Horn Brigade. They're trying to bait the CSA into the open spot, and that's a great idea, and CSA has to.
and CSA has to pull in more numbers than the people that are on the point.
Which they do. If Union already starts hitting CSA on the point, I'm going to be... Wow. Now we just need to watch Union already be good on cooks, and that'll be a miracle.
Or just be used at all.
That's you know, that's a fair point.
If they sped up the speed that you push artillery, it'd be a little better.
Or the horses.
Well, horses or just by hand. Because I mean, they used to be a little faster. Like the first year or two that Artie was around, and they updated kind of the way that the cannons move around and such, and they slowed down.
Wow. FSB and some twin banner guys are pushing down from the open field. They're getting completely shot up, but at this point Union has the tickets. They just gotta kill. Union can't overextend though. You don't want to hit final pushes Union and kind of overstress yourself, but what is the final push timer? It's got to be like 2.5, right?
Yeah, no more than 3 minutes, I'm pretty sure.
I'm seeing full charge at 5 minutes, so in a minute Union's gonna charge. Which there is, I mean, what, maybe 50 CSA left? Wow. So Union should be able to just kind of run down to the point and take it. They'll always have the manpower advantage unless CSA already has something to say about that. But even if CSA already does get some nice shots, not a lot of CSA infantry to back up that, which Union is actually capping the point right now. But Corded, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts for the round?
Huh. Well, if Union can charge like that, and CSA can still be down on tickets, or even coming out of it, then I don't know what more CSA could really do. Except maybe just kind of tweak the tactics, holding that corner. Maybe they were caught off guard the first time. Could have been that the Union artillery was doing a lot of work, breaking the walls, knocking people down. That might be something for individual regiments to look through this and see how they could have improved.
Yeah. I mean, CSA Artie as well was taking a lot of shots at Union when they were going between their spawn and the woods. I almost wonder if CSA Artie has to hold their shots a little longer and shoot Union while they're in the woods. Because the thing is, right, Union Artie is hitting the CSA right when Union gets there, and they're knocking down a lot of the CSA. Sure, the CSA already hits the Union lines when they're going between the spawn and the woods, but a lot of those Union guys get back up where they're spawned back in by the time they get back up to the stone wall. So
yeah,
oops, oh well, what a few good rounds here.
It's an interesting night.
Yeah, I was hitting the wrong buttons on my thing and I switched screens by accident. That's why I kept repeating what the... Anyways, yeah, really good round. Really good 1-1 tonight from both sides. Just very impressive overall to say. So we'll see what the standings are and the overview of this round in a moment after this. But yeah, it's like, what do you do as CSA if Union can do this on this map? Unless the buck and ball is like they're shooting a lot of their shots and they're not killing but wounding Union guys. But even if they're wounding, you think they'd do well in a melee. Who knows? A lot of casualties. Great to see. A lot of skirmishing for CSA. Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you in a second. And here are the stats for the Nicodemus Hill round. Again, really well done, the 10th US. That was pretty impressive. But here are your current standings. Pending no one did any balancing tonight. But 2 Corps, they still have their playoff spot. 59th New York and Free States Brigade have clinched first place within the division. Pending no more balancing points given. Because if you balance over, you get a point. But regardless of that, here are the current standings as I have it. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to support the channel more. We have a Patreon where you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. But besides that, I got other links in the description, like our Discord and stuff. But thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate you all. Have a wonderful rest of your night. We will see you in the next one.